What's up? It's Robert from Existence First. And what I want to talk to you about today is the mind, as always, but the power of the mind, right? Meaning the power of logic, of using logic. Now, I was playing Tetris I think last night, right? And if you've seen one of the spiritual self-defense lectures recently, I made a very important point about Tetris. There's actually therapeutic benefits, like to dealing with trauma by playing Tetris. Now, what I noticed as I was playing Tetris is that there was this window that gave me a preview of what the next piece would be. And I wasn't paying attention to it at first, right? Because the pieces were going really slow and I was like, this is easy, blah, blah. But as the game got harder, all of a sudden I was like, wait a second, I need to really tune into this box over here that tells me what the next couple of pieces will be. And once I did that, my performance like shot through the roof, right? Because I was like anticipating 3 moves ahead. Okay. Now, what's interesting is that you could look at that example and say, well, I just reproduced evolution, right? Because presumably on this planet at some point, millions and millions of years ago, there was no animal that or organism that was capable of anticipating the future, right? All the organisms were just looking for food, just kind of scavenging around or whatever. But at some point, presumably, there was an animal, an organism with a brain large enough now to simulate future possibilities. And this is when this extra intelligence comes in. This is when we are able to do things like play chess and play strategy games and whatnot. Okay. It also reminds me of these games where you've got what was it, like billiards. If you play billiards, like pool, billiard balls and pool stick, if you play that on the internet or electronically, then the way that these things are, the way that you play this game is you adjust the angle of the pool stick, right, which is adjust the angle of your shot, and then there's these dotted lines that kind of line up and they show you the angle, and then it can even show you the angle at which the ball will rebound off of the sidebar, right? And you can calculate all these angles and kind of project and foresee, like estimate what's going to happen. Now, imagine if we use that as a metaphor and we take that and apply it to our life, right? So that when we go through our life and the things that we want to achieve, we aim with a dotted line towards what we want or what we know is going to bounce off of something and then cause a change in the thing that we want to change. So it's this human ability to project, which is our asset. Now, what is the liability? Well, the liability, of course, is that the mind can also project negative things. It can remember negative memories from the past that are no longer happening, and it can think about the possibility of something bad happening in the near future, which is this concept of panic. And so I always say that if we want a mind or a brain that can imagine a better now, meaning it can imagine like, oh, what if we do this? What good things could come about? We need to also accept the downsides of the mind that can project negatively, right? So if we want to benefit from the upsides of a very powerful mind that can project good things that can happen, then we also have to kind of we have to accept the fact that we also may once in a while think of things that are negative or that make us feel bad. However, if we can control this and keep that to a minimum and use that, not to be used by it, but to use it, then we don't run around being anxious and panicked. We use that to project, is this outcome going to be good or bad? And if it's going to be bad, then we take a course of action to avoid that. So this is, again, using the power of the mind, or thinking of the mind as an asset, right? Because something could be an asset, but if you don't recognize it as an asset, then you're not going to use it as an asset. So, all right, I think I made my point for now. I will be doing some sort of event later in the month. Right now it's April. I'm not sure what that will be, but we'll see. It could be some sort of confidence seminar, but stay tuned and think deeply and put your existence first, as always. Talk to you soon.